Such a fantastic comment that I got on one of my other videos. And I really want to talk about this and go into this because I feel that this is so common in the twin flame community. There's almost a societal wound that is being highlighted here. It can really get mixed in with the twin flame journey and with the advice that you get about the twin flame journey and how to navigate it. I think there's a different perspective here that can be very healing and very conducive to the energy of union. In my previous video, I essentially talked about consider how it would make your twin flame feel to suddenly pull away and go no contact. And I offered a few different perspectives in that video, basically boiling it down to, is it really in alignment for you personally to do this? What is your heart saying? It's important to connect with your intuition. For some people, it might be important to release your twin flame and take space. And for others, it actually might be more in alignment to work on the relationship, to give energy and to nurture that connection. Something nefarious that has popped up in the spiritual community that has really bled over to the twin flame community in general is this idea that everyone is you pushed out, which is a Neville Goddard teaching that is very popular. And while it is true that other people in your life will reflect back to your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your internal state, can kind of work against us and put us in a narcissistic bubble where we're actually not seeing other people as people who have free will. We'll see this rampantly in the SP manifesting community. There's a lot of gurus and teachers who will essentially say, your SP is just reflecting everything within you, and if you just change yourself, they'll change. This is not actually quite right when we look into spiritual laws. And it is true that the law of attraction reflects back to us our primary thoughts and feelings and emotions about ourselves and other people. But we actually live in a universe with other conscious beings who have free will. This means that you don't and you shouldn't need to take 100% responsibility for your twin flame connection. At the end of the day, no matter if you have a twin flame or a soulmate or someone who is a very close soul bond to you in your life, you are still not 100% responsible for their actions because they literally have their own free will because they are their own person. I really understand where this comes from, and this, a little bit crosses the line a bit with some of the things that I do teach, because I really do teach to look at what is being mirrored to you, look at how you feel, look at what needs healing within to kind of respond to what is being mirrored to you. But I do think that there is a fine line between blaming yourself for everything versus taking responsibility for what really is yours to change. We actually dive into an underlying motivation for why a lot of people turn to spirituality and these teachings is because they inherently feel powerless to get what they want, with the idea that other people have free will, right? This is a lot of the inner child healing that we do on a twin flame journey, or when we're trying to manifest a divine counterpart or a life partner using these spiritual practices. There is basically an abandonment wound deep inside that says, if someone else can't be relied on, they're just going to abandon me, and therefore the only way that I'm safe is to have 100% control of myself and everyone around us. But actually part of healing and part of the twin flame journey and healing yourself into a true healthy relationship is actually learning how to allow yourself to rely on other people again. So that actually means not taking 100% responsibility of the connection. And in previous videos, I have said that you have 100% control over your twin flame journey, in the sense where you can completely be the one to decide that you're going to end up in a union, but you can't always decide in some circumstances who that person is or if they're necessarily going to meet you at that level of self-love and self-healing. But that really is a what-if scenario, because most of these connections with a twin flame or a soulmate, if you really had a soul desire to end up in a relationship for the purpose of your expansion, you wanted to be life partners, it's usually not going to be impossible to make that happen, so long as you simply notice how you're feeling, you're responding to the soul lessons, you're loving yourself, you're willing to grow, you're willing to be open, you're willing to give and receive. Those are really the only things that you need to cultivate a relationship. And the relationship doesn't have to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect, because you're human. So you have to let me know in the comments if you've come across this misconception. And I do feel like it is kind of a dangerous misconception if you get into it too deep. If you found this video helpful and you really resonate with my energy and the way that I teach, I have a free union course that you can enroll in that teaches you how to shift into the energy of unconditional love to attract your twin flame or soulmate or someone significant in your soul family in an aligned and healthy way. And follow for more.